Welcome to Today at Keeneland. It is day 12 of the Keeneland Spring Meet for 2019. We are down to the final 5 days of racing. We'll have obviously racing here today, racing tomorrow. We will not be racing on Easter Sunday, and then we'll have 3 race days next week, Gabby Gaudette. And unfortunately, It looks like the weathermen were correct in their what they were going prediction. There you go. I couldn't find that word. Forecast.
Okay.
Couldn't find either of them.
Yeah.
Because it is wet and rainy and a bit chilly.
It's not raining heavily though. It's kind of misting out there, but we're expected to have these types of conditions throughout the day. But good news is we're still on the turf. The turf is listed as yielding. The main track is listed as sloppy and sealed. So at least we have, the majority of the turf race is still staying together.
The home for today, Keeneland, it's Wagering Central right here on the first floor of the grandstand. If you have any questions, if you need help gambling, if you're new to the racetrack and you need some advice, Betologists will help you. And as we always say, don't be shy, stop us. We'll help you out as best as we can as we are moseying back and forth between the paddock as well as the front side. But as far as today, we have a nice featured race, the Hilliard Lyons Baird Double Dog Dare. That is race number 9, post time at 5:30. And also, don't forget, we've got a $200,000 Friday late pick 4 presented by TVG, which we'll be getting into in just a bit. There's also going to be food trucks up on the hill, and there's also a band up there. So take advantage of this Friday. I think a lot of folks are going to be out because it is the kickoff to the holiday weekend, and so days off. Come on out,
just
join us.
Come out, bring an umbrella, bring a raincoat, bring some rain boots, especially if you're out on the hill. Just be prepared. It's going to be a great day.
What happened yesterday? Can you remember? Oh, the hill is closed today. Excuse me.
Sorry.
So that's bad info on my part. I didn't see the memo.
You were leading me, and you led me astray there.
Well, I had to get the info in.
Okay.
Late breaking news.
Anyway, yesterday, I feel like the days have all kind of blended together. But yesterday, it was a fun day for sure.
Hey, we are.
Hey, we made a cameo. Another 2-year-old winner from Wesley Ward Barn, Joker on Jack, and actually going off as the second choice, I believe, in there, 5-2. So if you bet, you made a little bit of money there. Also, 3 wins on the day for jockey Tyler Gaffleon. So he had himself a good day and taken the featured race as well.
Yeah, Leinster was the upset winner, and there he is, the number 13 horse, and did so for Rusty Arnold. And we had more California success, this time for a horse for Phil D'Amato, who came in from last being raced at Golden Gate Fields in Northern California. So it was a great day. We look forward to another great day. 10 race card here today. The feature, Grade 3, Hilliard Lyons Baird Double Dog Dare. Let's get the latest on the weather from our friends at WKYT.
Hey everyone, it's meteorologist Jim Caldwell here in the WKYT First Alert Weather Center. It is messy out there this morning, and as we head through the day today, it's going to stay that way, unfortunately. And temperatures early this morning very warm, but as we cruise through race times here this afternoon, it is going to stay very cool, very wet, with temperatures hovering in the 40s and 50s. Notice they're going up and down all afternoon long there, starting in the 40s at 1 o'clock, back to the 50s at 2, back at the 40s. So it's going to be an up and down kind of day out there. Very wet overall. And as the horses are running, they're going to encounter some of those showers at times, and of course, wet track conditions as we move through the afternoon. And that will continue, by the way, into tomorrow's racing as well. So good luck out there.
If you need some gear, by the way, visit the gift shop. They've got everything. They'll get you dialed in. If you don't have a rain jacket, we've got umbrellas, we've got everything. If you have yet to come out, it is newly revamped, and we urge you to visit the gift shop here at Keeneland Racecourse.
The best gift shop in the industry, hands down.
It's the best gift shop in sports. Let's just say that. Forget just the industry. Best gift shop in sports. As far as, we talked about the weather. As far as picks for the entire card, here we go. And we never match up late in the card, but that's what's happening today.
Yeah, we obviously agree in race 8. We don't really agree in the featured race. You land on the 3, I land on the 7. Go Google yourself. And beyond that, Scott, it looks like we're kind of all over the board. And I know the featured race has been a little bit hindered by scratches today, but I did think that the late pick 4 sequence is challenging. I thought the early pick 5 sequence is challenging. So these races, for the most part, have held together really well and still create a lot of betting opportunities.
Well, let's dive into the featured event. It's race number 9, the Hilliard Lyons Baird Double Dog Dare Stakes. Say that fast 3 times. It mentioned the scratches. The 1, the 2, we knew the Blue Prize was going to scratch to focus in on the race. at Churchill, but also take out LaForce and Echo out on the outside. So it's going to be a race that, as far as favoritism, it has to go to Electric Force, right? I mean, folks are going to gravitate in that direction. Or Golden Award.
I don't know. It's going to be between those two. I don't know. I don't set the morning line is a very challenging task.
It is. And Golden Award, she deserves this opportunity.
For sure. And honestly, when you scratch down to a field like this and you have a lot of similar class lines, it can all boil down to what the riders do, a rider's race, because all of these horses have a little bit of natural speed, so it's going to be interesting to see how the pace actually develops and how the race is run.
I'm going with the 3, Electric Force. LaForce was my initial pick, but she's obviously scratched. But this is a filly by Curlin for Stone Street Stables, Stone Street Homebred, who's run 4 times. She's only had really 1 bad race. That was second time out, and she was in tight leaving the chute from an inside draw coming out of the 7 furlong setup at Churchill Downs. But last time out, she got a chance to go 1 turn mile. That was the furthest that she's gone. So today is the first time that she will 2 turn. So let's go back to her last race. This was 4 months ago in the Grade 3 Rampart. She's a horse, or this is a filly that was beaten by Tikalita, who's since this race come back and finished 3rd in the Grade 3 Royal Delta, as well as 3rd in the Grade 2 Inside Information just back on the 16th of March. So she's facing a very talented filly in here, and this filly by Curlin, I think, will get better with the stretch out in distance. You can see her coming on late, and the off track didn't affect her, and not surprising given she's by Curlin out of an Unbridled Song mare. So I think Electric Force is the one to beat here today, as she will take that step up in class, in my opinion, here today, getting a chance to go a route of ground for the first time.
And now with the scratch of the 2 inside horses, she does draw the rail for her first start going 2 turns on the main track, but she looks like she should be able to do that just fine. I loved Hala Hala in here because Hala Hala actually beat Tekalita, who beat Electric Forest, but she has since been scratched. I'm curious to see what the story is behind her because I saw her paddock schooling yesterday. Maybe it has to do with the track today. So I go to likely the 3rd choice, I would say, the number 7, Go Google Yourself for trainer Paul McGee. I got the chance to speak to Paul McGee a little bit yesterday, and he just said how much this filly has progressed late in her 3-year-old season and into her 4-year-old season. And you can see that in her performances. She just continues to get better and better. She's got proven form going 2 turns. We'll show you her spotlight. This was back at Keeneland about a year ago on the 13th of April when she did get her allowance victory. And this was her closing well off the pace. There was a fast pace in front of her. She got a good setup that day. But I like the fact that she's kind of managed to find some natural speed recently, including in her last race. They went quickly in front of her, but she just tracked the leader about a length off of the pace, and she managed to beat the likes of Wonder Gadot. So I do think that she's an improving type of filly. She's got 2-turn experience, and she should be able to just stalk the pace in here. I like her at a little bit of a price.
I like the name. I'd go Google yourself. I mean, it's almost a derogatory term, it sounds like a little bit. Sam Siegel does a great job in naming her horses. That's the JMS stable. She bred this filly. So go Google yourself the pick for Gabby Gaudette in the Hilliard, Lyons, Baird Double Dog Dare.
It rhymes. It's got a nice ring to it.
Grade 3. We could do like a song. Yeah, we could. And well, maybe we can during this Tom Leach interview. So go ahead and listen. We'll write a song.
Jose Ortiz is going to have the ride on Electric Forest in today's Grade 3 Double Dog Dare Stakes presented by Hilliard Lyons. Tell me about the last race down at Gulfstream in the Rampart. Looked like there was some trouble.
Yeah, it was. I have an inside position. I got stuck in the rail in a very small field of horses, and I think she should have won that day. But by the 3 pole, I wanted to get out, but I have the horse that beat me in my outside, and he didn't let me out until very late. I mean, I think it was Tequilita that won that day. I thought she was kind of dead by the 3 pole, so I took a shot and stayed in there. And then she kept going, and I think that was on me. That one was on me.
What about stretching out to a mile on the 16th? Any concern?
Well, she ran very good the mile, and not really. I'm very confident that she will handle it good, and we hope for the best.
You rode her earlier last year. How did you see her improve from then to the races at the end of the year?
She improved a lot. She always showed that she have a lot of talent, but I think more just mature. Just she know what she's doing now, and I'm confident she's gonna run well.
Let Let me ask you one about Tacitus. Is it hard to sleep these days, waiting till Derby Day?
Nah, just stay relaxed. He's a very nice horse. I decided to ride him, and I think he's a very good horse. So hopefully he stays sound, healthy. He looked very good. He's already here at Churchill, and just hoping for that day.
Good luck with him and with the filly in the race today.
Thank you.
That's Jose Ortiz. He'll be aboard Electric Forest in the Double Dog Dare Stakes.
That one was on him. That's what he said, that last race. I love hearing that from trainers and jockeys. And we got that yesterday with Wesley Ward in the feature with Fooch when we were doing our TBG interview. Admitted that the horse was a little bit heavy. I love when trainers and jocks open up.
Oh, for sure. I mean, sometimes it's difficult for them to do so, but I love the interview yesterday with Wesley Ward just saying that maybe Fooch was a little bit vulnerable in that race. Did you come up with the song yet?
Didn't. I thought that was you're the one who's been humming all morning.
Maybe I have.
Singing. So it's on
I'm
you.
in a great mood.
Yeah, we're at Keeneland. It's always puts you in a great mood. All right, let's go on to our analysis of key races. Again, these are races in which we can pick horses that we like, that we want to focus in on. And Gabby's going to start things off, taking us to race number 3. 6 furlongs the distance. Fillies, straight 3-year-olds, A other than company for the optional $75,000 tag. And you continue to pick these tough races. Look at the morning line here. The longest price 10-1, but 5-2 the morning line favorite, Royal Charlotte.
I think this is going to be a showdown between Chad Brown and Wesley Ward. Chad Brown sends out the likes of the number 2 Royal Charlotte, who won in her first start and very impressively going 3/4 down at Gulfstream Park. But my concern with that race was the overall quality. I know it was visually impressive and she did it really nicely, but we haven't really seen that field to be super productive. So that's why I landed on the number 5, Bingwa. I know she's coming in off a layoff. We haven't seen her since the fall here at Keeneland, but we'll show you her last race. This was on the 19th of October when she went against the likes of Preamble. We saw Preamble come back to win an allowance race very impressively on opening week here, and she never gave up. This filly set the pace. She was defeated by her by just a half length, but she never stopped trying all the way to the finish. And you can see these two horses were far superior than the rest of the field. They just did so well in that race. Overall, Wesley Ward, with 180-plus day layoffs, with his dirt sprinters coming in off of those sites of layoffs, he hits at about 30%. I mean, he just does so well with preparing these horses. So I choose her to, slightly go against Chad Brown in here.
Well, Chad Brown, Wesley Ward, Chad Brown, Brad Cox right now locked in a dead heat. They each have 6 victories. There's a lot of racing left over the course of these 5 race cards, so it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out. And then you got Castellano, who's now just a sitting duck. He's not going to be active here at Keeneland anymore, and Joel Rosario just 2 off of him in the jockey standing. So we touched on that yesterday. Yeah. So these races are going to be tight down to the end.
Tyler had 3 yesterday. Florent, he rides a lot for Brad Cox. So if Brad Cox has a good day, he could surely catch up to Joel Rosario. Joel Rosario had a winner yesterday. So it's definitely, that's what you get with these boutique meets. Everything can change in just one racing day.
I'm going to go to race number 7. This starts the late pick 4, $200,000 guarantee presented by TVG. We'll have those tickets in just a bit, but this is a very good race. You were telling me there's a lot of buzz about Guarana, the number 3 horse, the first-time starter for Chad Brown, daughter of Ghost Sapper. But I like the 4 in here best, Miss Moneypenny for Larry Jones. Larry Jones, this filly's conditioner. Second time out with his horses, second career start. They went at a 22% clip. And the fact that he's asking this filly to sprint again here today is encouraging to me because she was off as slow as can be in that debut. So I would expect her today to take a huge leap forward. And Larry, if we roll this race back on March 13th, you can see what I'm talking about. Larry knows that this horse has to break better if she wants to be competitive in these sprint races. And I'm certain that they worked on it. So look for a much different situation for her. I mean, she was back there behind horses. She's trying to make up ground, going even shorter, going 5.5. If you blow the start going 5.5, you need a complete meltdown, and you can see the fractions. They were not going all that fast early on, so it didn't set up for her. I think this filly breaks better today, and with Jones's stats, second time out behind her, Miss Moneypenny will outrun her odds. The 3 is going to get a lot of attention, especially with the fact that you're talking about Guarana. I've got her 3rd in this race. I went 4-10-3, but experience. We've talked about this before, and we'll always talk about it. Experience goes a long way, and expect her to take a leap forward today in her second career start.
Well, first of all, you have to get out of the gate when you're going 5.5 furlongs,
Right.
and you have to have a special type of speed to be efficient at 5.5 furlongs. 6.5 furlongs on the dirt is a completely different style of race. On top of that, Scott, Miss Moneypenny's mare is a half to I'm a chatterbox. So there's a lot of dirt pedigree on the bottom side, even more dirt pedigree than turf pedigree. So I think this is going to be a favorable transition. I pick her as well.
I think you could play Miss Moneypenny if ever cast. Just so
Yeah?
Yeah, I think you could. It may be in the next Bond movie.
We talked about this
Yeah.
a couple days ago, right?
And Gary Barber, he's got his, well, he used to have his hands in that. I
Okay.
take that back, but he might
Yeah.
have some insight there.
Okay.
Maybe I should
I'll
have
reach
said
out
that.
to
Hopefully he's
Gary.
not listening. Let's go on to race number 8, second leg of the late pick 4. Munchkin Money, I think a big scratch in here, but you can see how big of a field we're dealing with. Also take out 14, 15, and 16. We've got a 7-2 morning line favorite in Zanza.
How much speed is in this race? That was the one thing that popped off the page at me, because we've got Limari for Brad Cox, who's fast, Sassy Little Lila, who might be the fastest of all. I've never seen speed like that on the turf. Youngest Daughter is fast. So we've got several, or even Lunar Garden. There's so much speed in this race. So I wanted a horse that's going to be closing from off of the pace, or at least stalking the pace. And Zanza, she's got, I think she's probably going to be mid-pack or behind that. But Chad Brown just does so well with his North American debuters. And you look at her European form, and it's very good. I believe we have a spotlight, the Group 3 at Deauville. She went on to face Group 1 company at Longchamp. I love these.
What's the name of the race, Gabby? Can you pronounce it
The
for us?
Prix and Prudence.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Thank you, Scott. I've been practicing that all morning. But she went on to finish second in this race, and the winner actually came back. You can see she faced her again in the Group 1 at Longchamp. Even most recently in the Group 3 at Deauville, Poetic Charm she went against. She recently won a Group 2 in Medan. So overall, we're talking about Group 1, Group 2, Group 3 racing over at Longchamp and Deauville. These are grade A tracks. So I just think that she's got the class if she can translate that form here.
Well, a 2 other than is stakes quality horses. A 3 other than is clearly stakes quality horses, and that's what we're dealing with here. I like Zanza on top. I'm not going to focus on her, though, in the backtrack that we show. But for Zanza, this is Marty Schwartz's game. How many top flight fillies has he bought out of Europe, brought them over here to Chad Brown, and they've turned into multiple graded stakes winners and champions? So
strong suit for them.
they have a system that works very well. But I want to focus in on the 5-horse Sassy Little Lila. Last time out, she ran in the Grade 2 Yellow Ribbon, was beaten by Cambodia. She was a long shot price. She's up on the lead, and then she tires to finish 9th, beaten 7 1/4. Every one of her races, going back to June 10th at Belmont, when she ran in the Grade 1 Just the Game and was second, beaten 3/4 of a length, has come against Grade 1, Grade 2, and Grade 3 company. She now moves to Rudy Brisset's barn. She hasn't been seen in 8 months. Her works look very good on paper. He has shown the ability to get horses ready off the layoff. The reality here is that in Southern California, we don't have the ability to run 3 other than allowance races. Those horses are running in these graded stakes races, and they are tough. We have a really nice division of older fillies and mares going long on the grass right now and have had for the last couple of years. So this is a lot of class relief for Sassy Little Lila, even with the class of this group. I do like her as my second choice behind Zanza. And one horse that I want to point out that I don't have in my top 3, but I think it's worth thinking about going 4 or 5 deep in your late pick 4, Almondine. Her debut in the U.S. at Del Mar back on November 22nd was so impressive. She then comes back, wins the Lady Shamrock at Santa Anita, and then 3 days later, they ran her in the Grade 1 American Oaks, which is tough company, and she finished 3rd, so she's a Grade 1 placed filly. She is a serious racehorse and has to be considered in here. Like I said, you can go 4, 5, 6 deep in here and still probably not feel comfortable in the late pick 4.
She might have just needed a little bit of a break, too. Look at that. She ran back just 3 days later, then just a month off. She ran back in a Grade 3. So she is very interesting. But I'm rooting on Sassy Little Lila. I'm really curious to see what she's capable of today because I think she's got so much talent. She just really needs to harness that speed.
All right, let's move along to the Clocker report. Race number 5, the number 2 horse Hoppa on the 10th of April, 4 furlongs and 46-2 out of the gate. That was second best on that day of 66. The Uncle Mo filly has trained very well here and won't be a maiden very long. So in race 5, consider the 2. And then one race later, race number 6, Fast Boat, worked 47-1 on April 12th. That was third best of 27. Galloped out strong in 59-4. That certainly is a strong gallop out and has looked good in all 3 Keeneland works this spring. So race 5, the 2, race 6, the 6. Early pick 5 starts with the opener. We do also have a late pick 5 here at Keeneland, but we focus our attention on the late pick 4, guaranteed at $200,000, presented by TVG. Gabby, where are you taking us?
Let's do it. And do take note, the late pick 5 yesterday returned about $3,000. The pick 6 actually has a carryover of just shy of $7,600. So keep that in mind when you're trying to construct your multi-race bets. This is a look at the late pick 4, and we start things off with race 7. That is a maiden special weight, 6.5 furlongs on the main track. I'm going to be using the first-time starter Guarana for Chad Brown, and the 4 Miss Moneypenny, again, out of the mare. That's a half 2. I'm a chatterbox. Race 8, 5, 12, 13. Sassy Little Lila I'm going to be using. I prefer the number 12 Zanza, and then the 13 English Dancer. She draws in off the AE for Richie Baltus, Johnny Velasquez in the saddle. Sometimes these horses get overlooked because they are on the also eligible list, and she's got form that would suggest she'll love the turf conditions today. She generally gets over a turf with a little bit of moisture in it, so I'll include her in race 9, 3, 7, 8. 3 Electric Forest for Chad Brown, first time going 2 turns. The number 7, Go Google Yourself, my top pick, a filly that just seems like she continues to progress. And the number 8, Golden Award, she might be the speed and probably the horse to beat for trainer Bill Mott. In the 10th race, going to be using 5 horses. This is where I wanted to have some coverage because it's a maiden special weight. I prefer the 6 Scattered Strikes, but also using the 7, the Last Zip, the 8, the Rock Says, and then the 2 outside runners, Red Sorrel and Lord Wimborne, who's got that Irish pedigree, who should love the turf today.
My ticket, as far as race number 7, I'll go 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 in all of them. We talked about race 7. I like Miss Moneypenny a lot in there, but you have to respect the firster for Chad. As far as race number 8, 4, 5, and 12, Lamari for Brad Cox. She's done nothing wrong as of late. Sassy Little Lila, and then Zanza on the outside. The horse coming over for Marty Schwartz from France is a must include. Almondine is another one I would tip you on in there if you're looking to spend a little bit more money. In the double dog dare, I'll go 3 deep, using Electric Forest as my top selection. Then the 5-horse Moonlit Garden. She's done nothing wrong as of late. She's been consistent, and I think that she'll appreciate the company that she's keeping here today. And then in race, the number 8 horse to the outside, Golden Award, another one if we talked about. She deserves this opportunity, and I don't know that we've seen the absolute best of her. And in race number 10, 6, 7, and 8, the 6 Scattered Strikes for Graham Motion. Look for her to take a step forward. The Last Zip, 2 sprints to a route, a strong angle, and then the 8-horse, The Rock Says, for Stanley Huff and Sagamore Farm and Nexus Racing Club. All 3 of those horses, the 6, 7, and 8, look very similar on paper, and I think we can expect them to take a jump forward with the racing that they've shown us so far. So it is another really nice sequence, that late pick 4, presented by TVG, guaranteed at $200,000. Best angle segment. Race number 6. If it sounds like I'm rushing, I am. We're running out of time, Gabby. What are you doing in race number 6 for your best angle?
Let's talk about the 6 Fast Boat. This is Joe Sharp Trainee. We'll show you the replay last time out. This horse won by open lengths, and it was the first time cutting back in distance for quite some time. We saw Joe Sharp win earlier this week with a similar type of move and coexistence. Generally speaking, Joe Sharp with turf sprinters winning and coming back and repeating, it's a very strong angle. While we're watching the stretch run, I also wanted to mention the 10 Kiros in here. He makes his turf debut. He's by First Samurai, but you look at the mare Libel, and that makes him a half to blame. He's very intriguing here from a pedigree standpoint, so don't leave him off your tickets if you're looking to play some exotics.
I'm going to race number 10, To the Last Zip. This is a horse by City Zip who's run 2 nice sprints in part of this big field. 5-1 on the morning line. Like the fact that he's got Rosario. Let's take you back to March 10th at Fairgrounds, his last race. He did nothing wrong. He sat just off the pace, and he was wide. Also, it says he was taken up a bit at the 3/8 pole, which was the case. but a strong finish. And Mike Stidham, when he asks a horse to route for the first time, they win at a 26% clip. So that is a high situational statistic. Also a positive ROI of 7 cents. So anything in the black is good. And you can see him finishing up here, trying to run down the big strides of the number 1 horse, Conito Rojo. So the last sip for me, $10 across the board, 5 across, however you want to play it. I really like him, and I think he's going to provide some value because it is such a big field, and the money should be spread out pretty evenly. Tom Leach, his pick of the day, he goes to race number 6, Fast Boat. How many times have we mentioned Fast Boat
There's
today?
no way this horse can win today. It was on the Clocker Report. He's Tom Leach's best bet of the day. He's one of my best bets of the day. Good luck, Joe Sharp.
That is a lot of weight to carry around this track here at Keeneland. 90 buyer in the first start off of a short break. Trainer Joe Sharp is strong in turf sprints. 66 should be easy to remember. Fast Boat, Tom Leach's pick of the day. Got 30 seconds. What do you want to do with 30 seconds?
I don't know. I'm out of breath.
You're out of breath?
Yeah.
Don't forget, late pick 4, the Hilliard Lyons Baird Double Dog Dare. Grade 3 feature today. That's race number 9. Bring your raincoat. Bring an umbrella. Visit the gift shop if you have neither. But if you live in Kentucky, you have that stuff, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
This weather's totally unpredictable.
In California, you can't even buy a rain jacket at a department store. I went one time and they looked at me like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I'd like a raincoat. Well, we don't sell them, sir. But they do here in Kentucky.
They do, in the gift shop.
We have more time. We have more time.
See, we talked so fast that now we have too much time at the end of the show.
Have you seen the new Breeders' Cup logo? It's on our paper here, but go check it out. There's a Breeders' Cup photo
booth. The soup of the day
booth.
is spring vegetable minestrone.
That actually sounds
delicious,
pretty good.
Right?
Might be worth a
On
trip
a
up to the
cold,
breast
damp
spot.
day, perfect.
Yeah, on a what?
Damp.
Oh, I thought you said. For Gabby, I'm Scott and Tom. We'll see you tomorrow.
Horatio, Claude, you guys know what I love about Bud Light? It's brewed with 4 ingredients: hops, barley, water, and rice. In all their glory. And no corn syrup, artificial flavors, or preservatives. Just this beer.
Sorry.
There for the entire world to see. Stripped down to its bare essence. Sorry.
Bud Light, no corn syrup, no preservatives, and no artificial flavors.
We're here at Toyota Motor Manufacturing, Kentucky.
This is Toyota's largest manufacturing facility in the world.
Let's go take a look.
Come on.
Toyota has invested over $8 billion in this plant alone, producing over 11 million vehicles.
It's all part of Toyota's commitment to the beautiful state of Kentucky.
Helping to create jobs for nearly 25,000 people. You gotta love that.
Toyota Camry, built in the USA.
Toyota, let's go places.
Ladies and gentlemen, Keeneland is delighted to welcome Dillon O'Donnell. Dillon is a Kentucky native with a born